This conference will now be recorded.
So there are a lot of extensions, but we normally don't use them in our day-to-day life.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so it's good to know. It's good to know that what different extensions are out there, but we normally don't use them. So always remember that. You'll only
Okay.
able to face only those extensions we just discussed about.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions around that?
Now I have to train, I need to learn those part
Yeah.
and the filter parts. And I opened few videos for calculated fields and all that. I didn't start anything of that because I was just stuck at the file types. But I was able to create few sheets and dashboards and story in a very clumsy way. Actually, it's not even neat, but I tried to dump it in,
Yeah. Yeah.
I would post it in server.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did.
Okay, so at least you have a glance of it that how that's been done and how you publish those and how developer will be going to publish those workbooks in the server.
Yeah.
And like if someone comes tomorrow on your job, that so if they face any difficulties, you will be able to figure out what's going on inside the development part.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's good to know. So what we will do, we will cover the basic overview of the server today, so that you will get time tomorrow and day after as a weekend, so that you will be well prepared, and then we can start full-fledged with the Tableau server.
Okay.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just sharing back my screen. Let me know once you're able to see it.
Yep. I can see it.
Okay. Okay, so let's go. So when you install your Tableau server, there are two windows which you get, right? The first one is this TSM,
Yes, I do.
which will be in your local, and this is like a Tableau server management.
Okay.
So this is the view which you will get when you load your Tableau server when you first sign in, and here are the different processes localhost to be given to know that what services are running, and you can actually go ahead and restrict those services. Okay, so there can be services like ask data, for example. So if someone don't want, we can actually restrict those to not, so that the end users will not able to see them.
Okay.
Or Tableau prep conductor. So depending upon your company guidelines, that which because these are all of them. Okay, so these are all of them. But sometimes what happens is company don't feel that particular services needed to be used or to be given control to the end users. That will so why I'm talking about the ask data, I will tell you later. But there could be some scenarios where company decides that no, we don't have to give ask data to the end users, so they will restrict that.
Okay.
Okay, and how to do that is to go ahead in the configuration section, and there you can check or uncheck the ask data.
Okay.
Okay, right now we are running in the like a trial version. So right now you don't have that authority to check in or check out. For that, you have to actually go ahead and stop your server, then do these steps.
Okay. I
Okay.
have to stop it and then do it. Okay.
Uh, mm, No, it is not particularly that. Whenever you want to do some changes, like right now, see, this is search and browse, right? And if I uncheck that, you will see the pending changes. Okay. Similarly, for the hours data, if you go with the purchased server license, it will be all. It will be like not grayed out. It will be you will be able to check in or check out. So when you do that, the server will be running. The server won't get interrupted. And when you click on the pending changes, it will ask you to apply and the changes and restart it. Okay.
Okay.
So whatever the changes you do here, you have to apply it and restart your server. So it will take some time. It will take some 15-20 minutes,
Got it. Okay.
or depending upon how fast is your VM or Tableau server on which you have hosted it. Okay.
Oh,
So that could be all. So depending upon whatever you need to know, whatever you need in your Tableau server, and so that the end user can see or not see, you can actually go ahead and control it from here.
got it. And you
So
probably
the
make this
purpose
changes somewhere in the
development part.
mornings or somewhere when people are not
So
using things.
people people normally do the changes on their weekends or like on a holiday or something, because admin roles are for the maintenance purpose. Okay, so you development is for the weekdays and maintenance is for the weekends. So
Oh,
if you're choosing this role for you, you should always remember that at some point of time you have to come on the weekend to do the stuff, because companies will not allow to do these patching or maintenance work on the weekdays, because the development will hamper and the
got
end
it.
users
Got
is going to complain. Yeah, so have that
it.
mindset before jumping in. Or you can always go ahead and start learning for the development part. It is easy to.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, so let's jump back. So we are going to, in our coming courses, I'm going to cover all these in a very brief. But right now, I'm just giving a glance of it, that how those works and how this looks. And this is the Tableau server management, and this is again the Tableau server which we see, which we talked about. Okay.
Okay.
So today, what we are going to do is to like the dashboard settings, dashboard scheduling, users permissions, operations, and the side project and users. So we are going to cover till eight of them. So let's start with that. So yesterday we learned about how to publish our dashboards. Okay. So today we'll go a little step back. So we already saw that how the projects has been created. Okay. We saw about if you go to the grid view, and if you want to so let's say there are like 15-20 projects, and if you want to sort it, you can actually go ahead and sort it according to the projects, according to the workbooks, etc., etc. But if you go on a list view, you can actually click here on the top of the buttons, the names, and you can sort it directly, or you can do it from the here too.
Okay.
Okay. um, so here in the explore option on the on this area, you can see overall information about your site. Okay, so like how many projects are there, how many workbooks are published in all of the projects, how many views are there, how many matrices, all data sources, flows, data roles, etc. So
Got it.
you can actually go ahead and see what is the traffic on your site.
Okay.
Then again, there are the actions. And what action do is, So click on the triple dot. You have a multiple options available here, and the important ones are permissions and change owner.
Okay.
Okay, you can actually go ahead and move your what do you say, projects also from one side to another. So let's say I want to move it inside default. So the content will be moved.
Okay.
Let's try that and see everything is moved inside this project. So you
Okay.
can create subsections where you can actually go ahead and uh, so it's just like a folder. So projects is just like a folder which you have to maintain like you maintain in your file explorer in your local window. So if you want to have a cluster of them together, you can actually go ahead and do that. So
Yeah.
okay, let's move it back. Uh, sharing is again like if you want to create a project. So let's say you got any request from the end users that I want to create such and such projects with such and such name, because these permissions won't be given to the end users. They can't control it. So you guys will come into the picture there. Okay, so you have to create a project, and then within the organization, if you want to share it with someone, just type the email address there and click share. Okay, so for example, let me add someone. Let me add a user and say sid2. Okay, display name sid2. Say password. So email option, you can say sid2 at the rate say gmail.com. Okay, and site role can be something. So let's not include anything. Add a user. Okay, let's go back. And when I say in the training, and if it says share, and if I write there sid, you will get an option of whom do you want to share. Okay, and if it says that if the email address is not configured, then you have to go ahead and configure the email address. So if the email address is configured between the organization, if you click directly on the share, a email notification will be given to that end user saying that the such and such projects has been created, and you can actually use it.
This is sharing is for them to use it.
Uh, so let's say you got a request, okay, and I'm the end user. I requested that I want one project to be created, let's say on the subject mathematics, okay, just an example. And you created that project on the name mathematics, and you shared it with me, okay. So this is the part of the sharing. Uh, Before doing the sharing, what you have to do is you have to go in permissions, and you have to actually go ahead and normally by default it will be the permission will be given to the everyone, to the all the group members. Okay,
Okay.
uh, it depend upon the company and to the company, but the best practice is not to give permission to the all users.
Okay.
Okay, and let's say I am asking you for the mathematics. Okay, what you can do, you can actually go ahead and assign it to the group or a user role. So for now, we have created one user. So let's say I'm giving it to me, set to, and what different permissions I want to give. Like I want to give publish, I want to give none, I want to give denied. So let's say publish. and save it. So everyone else in the site, let's say you have hundreds of users in the site, so whatever the permissions you gave it to the group or the user, those people will can only able to see that particular projects. Otherwise, other people will not be able to do so.
Got it.
Okay, and then after giving the permissions, sharing part will come into the picture. That once this is set up, uh, then you can go ahead and give the sharing to the concerned end user.
Okay. First you
Okay.
give the permission and then you share it with them and they start working on that particular thing.
Yeah, so they can access that particular project and they can go ahead and publish their dashboards there.
Okay. And usually the team will send you a request which includes the users in that so that I don't have to beg around, right?
Yeah. Everything you will get on your hand because you will not know, right? Like you will not know whom to add or what to create uh, until unless someone asks you to do so, right? So you will get all, because if you're not getting those information, you have to go ahead and ask them that whom do you want to add to, what what should be the project name,
Got it.
right?
Everything,
So,
yeah, take the information and then you create and you send
and they
and
create
they'll
it.
do their
Yeah.
job.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
So you can't actually go ahead and create it randomly. You have to ask them, and you have to ask them the right questions. That what different users you want, or if you want to create a group of the users.
Okay.
Okay. So I think we jumped a little bit. So we talked about the users, right? Like adding users here, and we will come to this adding users in the group part just now. But just hang in tight there.
Okay.
So permissions, we talked about the first permissions which we give, and by default we see that what different permissions which we have. Like publish will give you access to view it and save it.
Okay.
Okay. None will give you none, nothing. Denied will give you denied permission. So none and denied basically works as the same. Okay. But let's say um, I want something as a I want to save it and just don't want to view it.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense, but I'm just giving you an example that if you want some permissions to be like given and some permission you don't want to give, you can actually choose it from the box.
Okay.
Okay, so the blank one is like none. The tick one is like means allowed, and the red one is like denied.
Okay.
Okay, and on the below section, you can actually see the different users or the groups which is available in your site. Right now, there are only two of them, so that's why you're seeing only two. One is already added. If let's say I delete this, so this user will appear here. So all the users in your site will be appearing here. So let me give you a live example of my server so that it will be easy to understand. So for example, for the DA dev, if I say permissions, so you see there's all users and then the data analytics and the test account.
Okay. These are
Okay,
groups.
I am not the server administrator, I believe. I think this should appear here. Why it is not appearing here? There we go. I think it was taking time to load. So you will see all the users available on your site will be appearing here. Everyone, every single damn person will be appearing here.
Okay.
Okay, and you have a lot of them.
And out of which only few probably have the permission. Everybody else
So right
probably.
now, all users are not having the permission. Only the data analytics team is having the permission. Okay,
Oh,
and the test account. So you see here, these are the three people which named as a group. If it is a two people, it is named as a user. So you see the figures here also.
okay.
So that's how you understand what is groups, what is users.
Okay.
Okay. So right now, only data analytics team has this viewing permissions or save publishing permissions. So other than data analytics team, if someone else log in, he he or she will not able to even view this. This will not appear in their view.
Okay.
Okay. Whatever the folders whatever the projects you are going to give permission to that user, if he or she log in, he will only able to see those folders. They are not going to see everything.
Okay. And
Got
all the
it?
programmers can access the server, is it? Whoever has the permission,
No,
whatever page
no
I'm
one.
looking at.
No.
Oh,
This page, yes. This page, yes. All the developers will able to. So whosoever have the access, they can actually go ahead and access Tableau server. So that is not an issue. Accessing Tableau server is not an issue. But Tableau server management will be accessed only by Tableau server administrator.
okay.
Those are not being accessed by any end user or whosoever have the permissions for accessing the site. Site means Tableau server.
How many admins can be there in a company?
Uh, for one particular site, I think there should be only one. 1 second, let me see. Because, I never researched about this, but that's a good question.
Um,
Yeah, I think there can be anyone. I think there can be a number of them, but
okay.
depending upon how many licenses you have bought, I think how many number you type it. Yeah, so it depends upon the how many licenses you have bought. So let's say you have bought Tableau server license, and that is for two users. Only two users can have those permissions. Otherwise, I think we can see it here. 1 second. Let me do.
I mean, giving this, if let's say it's a very big company, giving this kind of
Yep.
responsibility, just one admin is a problematic issue. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So, what if this guy is sick or something and he doesn't know what to do?
So
I
you see
mean,
here, there are the role capacity upon your purchase, depending upon your purchase. So there can be creator, 25 of them. There can be explorer, 0 of them. Right now, 0, and viewer also. So depending upon how the purchase is.
okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I think depending upon the purchase, you can actually go ahead and assign those roles to them.
Okay, got it.
But bigger enterprise administration Tableau server usually requires at least 3 administrative roles for the management at scale. So you see, at least 3 administrative roles.
Okay,
Okay, so I think that's a good question. You can actually go ahead and dig into it. I don't want to waste our time here, but
yeah.
yeah. So that's a small piece of information, but important one, I believe.
Sure.
Okay, so go ahead and yeah, here it is. See, that's what that's what I was searching for.
One creator. Okay.
Yeah. So I went to Tableau Server Manager for that, but actually we can see it here now. Earlier we were not able to see them because I think with the upgraded Tableau version they are coming up pretty like clear to you. So how many of them are there? How many you can use it, etc., etc. So you see, this is what this server is 2020.1.4. Okay, and we can't see the roles here. How many are there, right? But
Right.
with this upgraded one, 2020.3, we can see them there. That's good. I think they are improving with every update.
Yeah.
Okay, coming back. So we discussed about the permissions. Okay, we didn't entirely discuss about the permissions. So these are the permissions which you give on the project level.
Okay.
Okay, and you can actually go ahead and customize those. So oh, there are two part of it, like a logged ones and the customizable ones. Okay, so customizable ones are the permissions which end user can also customize according to their own will. Okay,
Okay.
so let's say you have created one of the projects and you have given a customizable permissions to that particular project. So end user, so whosoever is your server admin, no, sorry, it's not server, site administrator, they can actually go ahead and change it.
Okay.
Okay, so it is recommended to give it as a customizable ones rather than giving a logged ones.
Okay.
Okay, so logged ones are the ones where if a server administrator defines that permission to that particular project, no one else other than him can change it.
Right. Okay.
Pretty clear?
Got it. But he can
Uh,
again later on change it to customizable, right?
yep, yep, anytime.
Okay.
Okay, so these are the permissions which you get to know about your projects. It is on a project level. What about on the workbook level? So you see projects, we have only two things. One is view, one is publish. So who can view it and who can publish it? So what is the difference is view means they can actually go ahead and see these folders,
Okay.
okay? Publish means, so let's say you have only given permission to only publish it, not to view it. So when you share this link with them, when you share this project with them, they have to directly click in there to get the access to it.
Okay.
If I can get it more clear is, let's say on a file explorer, you have first folder, let's say named as Siddharth, okay, and inside that Siddharth folder, there is another folder called training. Okay, and I gave you permission to the training folder, not to the Siddharth folder, not to the root of the folder. So if you have a direct link to the training folder, you can actually go ahead and access that training folder, but you can't access the Siddharth folder.
Okay.
So it works as the same. So viewing is like giving a permission to view that particular project, and publishing means you can actually access it if you have a direct link. Otherwise, you can't go back to the root and then navigate it to that project.
Okay. Got it. Got it.
Coming to the workbooks, you see there's a lot of different options available, and what different uh, permissions you can actually control. Okay, so then again, we have the same thing, customizable or logged. So whatever you want to do with that, but on the workbook level, we have a different uh, permission types. So first one is view. This works as the same, the viewing of your workbook. So workbook you are getting, right? Like whatever the dashboards you're going to publish, it is called
Yeah.
as a workbook.
Yes.
Okay. So this is for the view. This is for the filter. Filter means whatever the filters which you are using in your dashboards, if you show that those filters, and if you want to the end users to see it or not to see it, you can actually control it from here.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So let's say someone is on your job is complaining about he's not able to see those filters. You have to go ahead and check the permission whether that particular person have that permission to see that filter or not.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. Then again, viewing of the comments. So I think I will confuse you, but let me try to make it more clear. So then we have comments. Okay. So what are the comments? So come to the dash on the book. Come on, open up. Open up. Hmm. Yep. Okay. So you see there is an option of comments,
Right.
right? So you can actually go ahead and control that. If someone someone can in that inside that project can see the comment section or not.
Okay.
Okay. Then we have adding of the comments. So someone can see the comments but can't edit them, can't add anything.
Got it.
Okay. Then we have download image and PDF. So again, there is an option of download, and you can actually download your published data depending upon your will. Like it can be downloaded as image, it can be downloaded as data, it can be downloaded as crosstab. Crosstab means a CSV file,
Okay.
PDF, PowerPoint, or the whole Tableau workbook which we just published from the local.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say if you want to share your Tableau workbook with someone within the organization, you publish them and give them permission to download those workbook, and they can actually go ahead and access that workbook and download it so that they can edit in their own local.
Okay.
But the catch is the two person, like let's say you and me are working on the same project. Okay, and we want to change something on the same dashboard. Excuse me. Let me grab some water, Ravi. One
Sure. Sure.
second.
Sure.
Yeah, sorry for that. So the catch is, let's say you and me are working on the same project, and at the same time, we both want to change something on the same dashboard. Okay,
Okay.
we really can't do it. There's no option available of two-person um, working on the same dashboard and editing it on the same time.
Okay.
It is just can't be possible. Okay, so if I want to do some changes my part, I can do my part, upload it, and then I will ask you to again download it and change your part, and then you can go ahead and publish it.
Okay. When
Okay,
you publish those, let's say two people have worked on it, they both save it as in a different file name, is it?
they can't merge it. So let's say I'm working on one file name, uh, so we can work on the same dashboard separately. Okay, and if we publish them, so those two changes will be published separately. It won't be combined changes. So to have a combined changes, you have to work parallelly.
Together, most likely.
So like in a series, not parallelly, in a series. So first I will work, or first you will work, then I will work,
Okay.
something like that. So
Okay.
parallelly, it can't happen. Got my point?
Got it. Got it.
Okay. So this question is actually asked in the interview, that can we do that or not given the scenario.
Right. Then two people cannot do it parallelly, one by one.
No. Yeah. Okay. So now we have a downloading of image and PDF. So we can actually go ahead and control that too. Like end users can download this data or not in the image format or whatever the format they want.
Okay.
Then there is download summary data. So summary data is this data. So this will, right now it is not popped up because we haven't selected any of the views. So let's say I'm selecting this view. I'm selecting send this view. So if I click here, now the data will be populated, and this data will give you a summary data.
Okay.
And if you want to see the full data of that particular view, you can actually view them. And whatever you want to see it or save it, you can actually download it from here.
Got it.
So this also can be controlled by giving the permissions here.
Okay. Whoever has the permission, they do all this.
Yep. Then share customized. Okay. So whatever the whatever um, view which you have created, you can actually go ahead and share it. Okay. So if you want to give this permission also, you want to control this permission also, you can control it. Like someone want to share it unwillingly to the other organizations, okay, or someone else in the team which is not even concerned about it, and you don't want to have uh, that permissions to be given to the end users, you can actually control them.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so these guidelines, just telling you, like you can control it, and you can't, or you can restrict them, because there could be cases in the for which the company you're working for in the future, they can ask you to either give those permissions or restrict it. So you should know from where you can do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Then the full data download. Full data is again a cross tab, which we talked about.
Right.
Okay. Web edit. So web edit means you can actually edit your workbook. So like we did on the, so we developed our workbook on the Tableau desktop, right? So we can actually, if you want some little changes, little cosmetic or the changes which is on web, we can do it. You can actually go ahead and click on edit, and you will see this particular page will be converted in your Tableau desktop. Okay, and
Okay.
it's a web based, so you will able to see everything, your
Okay.
sheets, your data source, but this comes with very restricted permissions. For example, you can't add a new data source.
Right.
Okay, this is grayed out. Maybe in future they will give you that option too, but for now these are restricted.
Okay.
Okay, and you can actually go ahead and edit your workbooks according to your own will.
Okay.
And to publish your changes, you can actually go ahead and save it. Or if you want to save as, you can save your a particular workbook with a different name if you want, or on a different location if you want.
Okay.
So let's close this. Hmm. Okay, so we got to know about the edit. Where were we? Yeah. So download or save a copy. So this permission will give you the restriction of downloading a workbook, Tableau workbook.
Okay.
Okay, so someone can download the entire workbook or not, like the TWBX file or TWB file,
Okay.
the actual workbook file. Then override it. Override it means let's say I published this workbook as a test one workbook. Okay, and you want to give me the permission of uploading it again, but can't override the same workbook with the same name. So, what I'm trying to say here is, let's say this is the test one, right?
Right.
If I go to server and I say publish workbook and I say test one, so it says workbook name is already in use. Publishing will override the existing workbook. So if you
Mhm.
restrict that permission, I will not be able to override that workbook again.
Okay.
Okay. For now, this permission is given to my role. So that's why
Got
I'm
it.
able to. Hmm, got it.
Got it. Got it.
Uh, move means you can actually move your workbook from one site to another site, or from one project to another project.
Okay.
Okay, so those permissions can be given here. How you can move it is, let's go here and let's get drop down, and there will be the permission to move it.
Got it.
So if you click here, you can actually go and choose your projects in which you want to move this dashboard.
Okay.
Then we have a delete. Again, if you want to delete that workbook or not, if you have the permission, you can delete it. So deleting works as the same.
Okay.
On the triple dot, you have a delete option, the last one.
Got
And last, but not the least, about the setting permissions. So setting permissions means you can actually give permissions inside the workbook. So remember I told you yesterday that now we can actually go ahead and give the permission to the different groups of the users according to our own will. So this will come into the picture when we want to give a permission to the on a workbook level.
Okay.
How to do so is go to the workbook, click on the triple dot, and then click on the permissions. So here you can actually go ahead and add it or not. So this was on the project. This is on the project level I'm talking about, like overall permissions. But you can actually go back and restrict it or use it on the workbook level too. So this is on the workbook level. So you want to add or um, add a group of users or a user, you can do so from here and give permissions to them.
Okay.
Okay. So there are two
Right.
parts of it. Don't get confused. So this one I'm talking about on a project level, and this
Right.
one so work even on the project level I'm talking about, but on the workbook. So overall workbooks I'm talking about, and this is like for a particular workbook I'm talking about.
Okay. And all of
So
this is only if the programmers ask me to do so.
yep.
Whatever the requirements they send me, I'm just gonna give the permissions accordingly, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So to do so, also you should know like what is happening inside that permission rules
Right, right.
and from where to restrict them. Okay. So any doubts till yet?
So far it's clear. Um,
Okay. Coming to the data source. So remember we talked about publishing our workbooks and publishing our data source. So this is our data source symbol. This is our workbook symbol. So here also we can actually go ahead and restrict the permission on the data source also. Okay. So there is again different options who can view them, who can connect to that data or not. If anyone can download that data, anyone can overwrite that data, anyone can delete that data, or anyone can set permissions data to that data source. So I think this will be pretty clear.
yep. One
Okay.
moment. Give me one
Yeah.
second. Can I just open the data source file you got? I just want to see how it looks.
It
So
will
sorry.
not look anything. It will just be like ours data will be there, connections will be there, how many workbooks have been connected with that particular data source and the lineage.
Okay.
Yeah, I will talk about these, so don't worry.
Okay.
The data roles. So data roles are something like if you want to actually there are two parts of it. Okay, so data roles are something which you give the roles to your end users when you add them. Okay, and then again we have a data role here. So data role is like for giving the roles to the end users or the groups, what they can do and what they can't do inside that project.
Okay.
Okay, so view is there, override is there, moving of any folders or the workbooks are there, deleting and setting the permissions. So the same thing. So there are multiple ways where you can mm, control your data, and there are the different options available.
Right. And these data roles are not going to contradict with the permissions I give them outside, right?
So see, I gave you an example of the Siddharth folder and the training folder, right? So I gave you permission to access training folder, but not the Siddharth folder, right?
Right.
So if you have a training folder access, you can only access training. You can't access Siddharth folder. But if I give access to you as a Siddharth folder, you can automatically get the permission to access training folder too, because it is inside that folder. It's a
Yeah.
nested folder. Okay, the same works here. So if you give permissions to the project itself, but you're restricting the permissions inside the workbook, that doesn't work.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because you can because that workbook is published inside that default one. So you have to restrict the permission on the project level itself, so that you can manage the permissions inside the workbook level. So that's why I told you not to give the permissions to the uh, all users. Give permissions only to the restricted groups.
Okay.
Got my point?
Yeah. For a minute I thought, if you give the permission to the whole project,
Hmm.
and in that project, if you under particular workbooks, if you remove permissions to certain users, they can access the project, but they cannot access the work. They cannot see all the workbook inside. That's what I thought.
No, no, that doesn't happen.
Okay. So basically, I should only give them access to workbooks instead of everything.
So you
Whoever
see,
asks for it.
right now I'm in the project level, right? And I'm in the workbook section of it, and I can see that for all users, I'm giving a view access to them.
Right.
So if you don't want the end users to see those workbooks, even to see those workbooks, you have to actually go ahead and restrict it here.
Okay.
Okay, otherwise they will able to see. The same example which I gave you about the Siddharth and the training folder.
Right.
So it doesn't work. It works vice versa. That if you give permission to the training folder but not to the Siddharth folder, you will able to access training folder. So you will be able to access the workbooks if you have a direct link to that.
Okay.
But if you give a permission to the project level, they can actually go ahead and see whatever the different workbook inside that. Yes,
Right.
to answer your question, we can actually go ahead and restrict the data inside the workbook. So they will see the workbook, they will see the workbook names there, but they can actually don't see the data inside that workbook. That we can control.
Okay.
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 But that is a development part of it.
Okay.
Okay. So that we can control inside the Tableau desktop itself.
Okay. Let's stop.
So there are different layers of it. That's why I told you it will be easy for you to understand if you get to know Tableau desktop and then move to the server.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, we talked about the data roles, about the flows. So what are the flows? So Tableau offers one more product, which is called Tableau Prep Builder. Do you know
Oh,
about it?
no.
Okay. So Tableau Prep Builder, what it does is, it is just a tool to prepare your data. Okay. So what we see in the first part, the data source, we can actually we can actually do some of the data preparation there, right? Like on this area where we can split the columns, we can give the aliases, we can hide it, or whatever the permissions which we have it here. But Tableau Prep Builder uh, comes into the picture where we can actually go ahead and prepare your data, like getting the data from the different data sources, getting the data and doing some aggregation on top of it, or um, splitting of the rows, or giving them a different aliases, or Boolean functionalities, etc., etc., adding of the columns. That data preparation can be done on the Tableau Prep Builder.
Okay.
And that flow which Tableau Prep Builder creates, we can actually control it from here. So that flow also will be published on the Tableau server, just as a Tableau workbook which we published.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, we don't normally this flow, or this Tableau Prep Builder came in 2018, somewhere in 19. So most of the companies don't use it till now, till date. But in coming future, they might be using them.
Okay. And
Okay.
is this somewhere, is there a button for this to look into it? Tableau, or is it a
No, so you
program by
have to
itself?
download. Yeah, so you have to download as you download Tableau desktop. You have to download Tableau Prep Builder, create a flow, and publish it here inside
And this
your
is usually
portal.
done by a developer. Nah, I
Yep.
mean, okay.
Yep. So they have the idea to define the flow, or define whatever aggregation to be done on the data. So they will take care of that. But giving the access to view that flow or not, to download that flow or not, to run it, to override it, to move it, to delete it, to set permissions, you can control it from
Okay.
here. Okay.
Okay.
So just understand it in a similar way, that it is just like a workbook. So flows are also a similar pattern. There's similar flows to be written there.
Okay.
Have you worked on Alteryx or sometime, or Microsoft SharePoint Flow?
No, I did not.
Not right. So those are the same things. Like it's a ETL. Do you know anything about data stage?
I'm sorry, I do not know.
No. Yeah. So so it's just like if in a simpler term, if I give you an example, let's say you have a raw data. Okay. You have
Okay.
like 10 number of columns, and you want to get that data and make a meaningful information out of it. Let's say you want to segregate those data on based on the regions of uh, let's say you have a sales data, and you want to break it in categories or subcategories or regions, and then you want to prepare a beautiful data out of it with the raw data. You can do it everything on the flow on the Tableau Prep Builder.
Okay. Okay. I in my life I never
Even
worked on software field. This field I never worked in
yeah,
it. I'm
yeah,
actually
yeah.
an MBA guy,
Oh, okay.
so
Yeah,
this
I
is
know that you told me about your businesses yesterday.
yeah.
So yeah. So this is pretty easy to learn, but you see, with the easy to learn thing, there are a lot of competition also in the market.
Right.
So you have to understand that fact, that if something is easy, it is easy to get.
Right. Right. Got it.
Okay, but you can actually stand out with learning Tableau development, also some SQL part of it. So this will give you an edge that with the Tableau admin, you can actually go ahead and help them out wherever they need it, wherever they want you to be in the role.
Got it.
That's why I'm asking you those things to learn. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, So I think permissions part are mostly done. These permissions which you can control on the project level. Then again, we have inside that project, we have again the permissions type, which you can control on the workbook level. So Sheets tab hidden permission for the views control independently. Okay, so if you understand this, if you don't give permission to the workbooks or the projects, you can give the permission to the workbooks for them to
Okay.
view it. So that can be done. Okay, one second.
Siddharth,
Yep,
there's too much wind noise on your mic.
is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I think just because of the ceiling fan.
Okay.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, it's a little better. Sure.
Okay, sorry for that.
That's all right. I just that the whole thing is recorded, right? I listened to it again,
Uh-huh.
and
And then you will get the wind noise. That's what's happening there.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I understand. Sorry for that.
Sorry.
I think it's not better yet. Let me switch it off or sit somewhere else. Yeah,
Sorry,
I think this is better. No, that's fine. I understand that. Like once you go back and just refer those videos, it will be like very hard to listen to.
yeah. I pause it at like every 1 minute. I concentrate.
Mm.
I'll try to do it again. It's like, but
Mm.
I don't want you to suffer right now because of me.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's too hard.
Uh, okay, so we talked about the permissions. Now we talked about uh, rules. Okay, let's talk about the users and the mm, on dashboard settings, server settings, scheduling. Okay, so let's go back here. Let's go back to the training part. Mm, okay. So did we talked about the scheduling part of the workbooks?
Scheduling, not yet. No.
Not yet, no.
No.
So scheduling is something like when you so this was the Tableau
Yes.
desktop which we
Yeah.
published, right?
Scheduling. We kind of spoke about what time
Yeah,
you want
but
that to
not,
run.
yeah. Yep. So once you can actually go ahead and do the scheduling part here also. If you want, or if you have published it and you haven't done the scheduling here, you can actually go back and do the extract refreshes. Okay, and these are the extract refreshes which is right now available there, like end of the month, Saturday night, weekday, early mornings. But these are not only the ones. Okay, let me show you here. Let me take an example. So you see, we have purchased the daily ones. Okay, so daily means you can actually go ahead and do the extract refresh daily, but
Right.
at the time which we want. So this is like mostly preferable because if you purchase a weekly ones, it can be only done weekly. But if you purchase the daily ones and for the multiple times in a day, you can actually go ahead and restrict those and do the multiple refreshes in 1 day.
Okay.
Okay, so it can happens that most of the workbooks are linked to the same data source. Let's say a SQL Server maybe, and you don't want to overload them. Then what you can do, you can manage your Tableau workbooks in such a way that they could be refreshed on a certain time of the day, so that
Okay.
the Tableau server, sorry, the SQL server, your data source won't get hampered.
Okay. Does
Okay.
it take a lot of time for each workbook to refresh? Is the time
Uh,
frame or
it
something?
totally depend upon the data, what data you have, and what data you want to do the refresh for.
Okay,
Okay. So it
got it.
totally depend upon the size of your data.
Okay,
Okay. So we talked about the creating of the project to the site. We talked about user access and rules and permissions. We talked about the dashboard operations, that how it works. Okay, so I think I'm going to stop here today, and we will continue with the server part in our next session. So,
okay.
did you feel if you feel like you have 2 days right now, and I want you to take an advantage of that. Um, Go back, relearn everything, come back with the questions, and then we will, because this is going to be deeper and deeper day by day. Okay, this was just a um, baby step right now. So we are going to move a lot further into this. So be prepared for that, and to be prepared for that, you need to know what's going on behind the scenes.
Got it. Got it. Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so please work hard for like whatever the sessions which we are having, so that you will learn on the go, and I want you to learn on the go. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to go back and see those videos and then not able to figure out what's going on.
Yeah. I'm actually glued to my sofa from morning to evening, trying to figure out, like switching from this video to that video.
Uh, yeah, so takes things now in a like a planned way. Don't mix match things. Okay,
Yeah.
if you're learning something, just learn it, and I know it will not make sense in the start, but eventually it will all start getting. It will all start making sense. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So just be there, and just be there, hanging tight, and you will get to know.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm using my brain after a long time, so.
Yeah, so exercise will be needed.
Yeah.
So sometimes breaks are also very important, because sometimes you're not able to figure out what's going on there, and then you have to take a break, and then you will figure it out that yes, what's going on
Yeah,
exactly.
I went crazy. I went for a drive. The minute I stepped in, you said you're available. Just
Oh,
some time back.
oh.
I'm not doing this anymore. Let me go for a drive. I just went out.
Uh, I woke up in the morning. I like switched off my alarm to go to the gym, and then I thought, keep let's finish this early morning. Anyhow, I woke up so that I can move ahead with my day.
Yeah,
So
it's a good
that's
thing
how it
that you.
started.
It's a good thing you
Mm,
message. Yeah.
yeah. And thankful to the WhatsApp group Srinivas created.
Yeah.
So it can keep us connected. Okay, so
Yeah.
you have a happy weekend, Ravi. I hope you enjoy and learn, and spend some time with the family, and come back with the questions. And I want you to come back with the questions,
Sure.
so that we can figure them out. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You too have a
Thank you,
good
Ravi.
weekend.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much. Bye bye.
Bye bye.